Hi, good evening, everybody. This is Chris with Mustang Stocks. I just want to make a quick video and kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm going to be doing over the course of this next week. So this is Monday the 4th, so this will be for ideas of things that I'll be doing over the course of the next week. Really, the big one for this week is definitely NEO. I got the chart up here. I was going through making trying to figure out where I expect this to be come NEO Day. NEO Day is on the 9th, so I'm really expecting quite a big jump between now and the 9th, and really peaking probably on the 11th. I'm definitely in for something short. I'm definitely in for something long as well, but I'm looking at something that I can do short and really take advantage of this expected increase. So a couple things that I did is if you take a look and go ahead and throw a Fibonacci retracement on there, you can get some pretty good ideas about the like some expected lines of resistance, and you can kind of look in the past and see where some of these lines line up pretty well, right around that $50 mark, between, we'll say right here at like 48.50, and between 48.50 and 49, going up to the $50 mark. This one might not be as accurate, but this one's pretty good up here too. You got a lot of these, points and these candlestick bottoms right around that 52.61 mark. So where do we stand? We stand right now, well, we're in the pre-market and NEO's already up to 50 bucks, right? So $50 a share and going up, a lot of good volume. You do this Fibonacci retracement back and you can start to see where this is expected to go. So the other thing that you can do besides the Fibonacci retracement is go ahead and put a trend-based Fibonacci line on there as well. All right, so really going from one candlestick to the other. Go ahead and put that on there. Get that off there. So what am I looking at here? Well, really, the only thing that I need to look at is the time, right? I'm looking at the time for the 11th is where I'm focusing on. So I expect NEO will peak due to NEO Day around the close of business on the 8th, maybe into the 11th. So I'm looking at this line right here, this last Fibonacci trend, and I need to find a comparison where that's going to end. Based on what I'm looking at, I'm gonna say right around 66 bucks. I expect that since I should say, NEO has broken high and broken that line, that $50 line of resistance. It's going to be moving on. It's going to continue up and up and up and up, right? And each one of these, there's not many lines of resistance and lines of support between where it is now and the previous highs. If you look, so we're already past this line of resistance right here. Well, I guess technically this would have been a line of support previously. This one isn't really a heavy set line of resistance or support, but we did break through it. So the next one is all the way up to 52.61, and then after that you might have a small one in here at 54, but then the next one's 55, and then after that you've got the all-time highs, right? You're going into the $60 range, and that's where I expect it to go. I don't expect it to stop. And I wouldn't expect it to stop, and I would expect it to also be at roughly this same angle, right? So if I go ahead and take a trend line here, and I put it to the candles, and go ahead and take that same trend line, put it at the bottom of that candle there. This is the angle at which I expect it to go up, and once this line passes this line right here, that's where I expect NEO will be come the close of business on the 8th. So kind of keeping that angle close. Where do we stand? Well, I got this one says about 71.45. I think that's a little bit high. When I really took time to do this earlier, I came out to $66. I also did a channel and instead of just one line, and I took the average, and the average was right at 66, and I think that's more accurate. So you can come up with 100 different ways to look at things. Some are going to be right, some are going to be wrong. I am kind of going with the fact that I expect NEO to be about $66 by close of business in just 1 week. That's another $16. I think we're at $50 now. So that's not unrealistic. 10% over the next couple days, 10% more over the next couple days after that, and you're there already. You're virtually there. So 66 may be optimistic, but based on trending, based on the fact that there's not a whole lot of after you get past that $52 mark, there's not a whole lot of previous lines of resistance that you have to break through, and those previous lines of resistance will turn into support. So you might see some bounce between the 55 to 52, the 60 to 55, and then ultimately 68 to 60 range. You might see some consolidation there, but I would expect to see it come up to 66 to $68, and then maybe start consolidating after NEO Day around the 11th. I'm going in with the mindset that I'll probably I already have a couple things that are going in short, couple call options going in short, and I'm probably going to get a couple more here before the night's end, and definitely look. I might have it out till the 15th, but I'll probably sell that right around the 11th. Again, it really depends on, do I see NEO consolidating after NEO Day? What do the Greeks look like? Do I have a higher theta? Is my delta lowering? Things like that. So if you don't know what that means, by all means, hit me up some other time. Ask the question on there. I'll have a whole video later on about the Greeks. So definitely stay tuned. Be on the lookout for those videos. Okay, so what else am I looking at besides NEO? Riot. Riot, although I didn't necessarily like how the graph was looking and the trends were looking, I really have a good feeling about Riot based on how volatile Bitcoin has been over the past actually over the weekend. And not just that, but Elon Musk, he tweets out one little thing and says, what about Dogecoin? And boom, Dogecoin goes up 20% or something ridiculous like that. Hey, I jumped on it. I took advantage of it. Got a couple 100,000 shares. Made a pretty good amount of money there. But I'm already out of it. All right, but you look at how volatile Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all these cryptocurrencies have been because of something as simple as a tweet. So all of these other entities, all these other companies that are crypto based, or one thing that I'm looking forward is the Coinbase and when that IPOs. But right now, looking at Riot, I expect to see something interesting going on with Riot. The graph definitely doesn't look bad. I am a little bit concerned about this little gap that they made right here, and I'd be a little bit worried about that in the future, because we'll probably start seeing this go up just as this trend has from here all the way up. You can see comes up, consolidates, goes up, consolidates, goes up, consolidates, just like every normal stock with a good company is going to do. So I would expect to see the same thing. I would expect to see this come up, consolidate, come up, consolidate. But one thing I'd be watching for is this gap. At some point, this gap's going to be, we're going to want to fill this in. It doesn't happen all the time, but it can definitely happen. We also saw it right here, right? But most of that gap was filled in upon this consolidation. We just looked at NEO previous to this. NEO was one of those exceptions. They had a gap early on, and it never has come back to fill in, and that was like the low 30s. I thought we were going to get to that point when we got to the $39 range. I was expecting it to drop pretty low, but never did. It came back. So who knows? Maybe in the future it'll actually go down even more, consolidate, and fill in that gap. But we will see. So I'm probably going to do a short-term play on this. Probably something just 5% or so. Looking for it to come up to all-time highs in maybe the mid-19s to 20 over the next couple days, and then probably get out of it. I don't know necessarily what options are available. I think with Riot it goes out to the 15th, so I'll probably get something simple. Get 10 lots or so, or 20 lots of Riot going out till the 15th. Watch the trend. Make sure that it doesn't start to come back and consolidate and fill this gap in, and then sell when it's high. Let's see, what else am I looking at? Got them on my phone. Also looking at BNGO. That's another good one. Genomics, whatever it is. Cool company. I've read a lot about it. Don't know how to pronounce it, but whatever. This is one of those stocks that you look at it and you're like, wow, it's really going up. It's going up real quick. Right now it's only at 487. Actually, I think it's a little bit higher than that in the pre-market. Let's see if I can pull that up. Yeah, nope, that's pretty accurate, 487. So this is actually accurate for the pre-market. So 487, but yet again, here's that gap I'd be watching out for. That gap is probably going to be filled in. And if you see what's happening, you see this, the way that this is starting to curve up. This is starting to curve up into a parabolic. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to get into it. I'm going to probably throw a significant amount in, especially since it's only at $5 a share. I'm probably going to jump in there for 1,000 shares or so. I'm not super wealthy, and I'm not super risky, but I'm probably going to get in for 1,000 or so shares. Let that take off in a parabolic arc, and then make sure I set up my trailing stop loss, right? I can't overemphasize that enough. It's great making money, and it sucks losing money. So make sure that you have a plan on how you're going to get out to minimize your losses. And the best thing that you can do, in my opinion, the best thing you can do to minimize your losses is stop losses. Whether it's a value and you're just keeping up with it, or you do a certain percentage, a trailing stop loss. I'm going to probably set mine up because this is, it's a smaller company. It's a lower value per share. I'm probably going to set it up for something around 5%. I'm not going to really mess around. I'm not going to take too big a chance. And it is going up in such a parabolic form that, if it starts coming down more than 5%, it's probably going to go down to 10%, 15%, if not more. After the parabolic shape takes off, I'm going to be looking for, a high and tight flag. That might also be an option. Who knows? Goes up over 100%, drops down greater than 25%, makes that high and tight flag. I might be looking at getting back into it after a while, but my trailing stop loss will ensure that I get my profits. Drops down that 25%, then I'll start looking at getting back into it and seeing how that chart looks. So just to give you an idea of another thing that I'm going to be looking at, and to be honest, I'm going to get something out of this. I'm going to put some amount in, but I'm definitely going to be watching this one like a hawk, and making sure I have that trailing stop loss set. All right. Let's see, what else do I got? Looking at, talked about Riot, talked about Neo, talked about BNGO. I think that's honestly probably about all I'm going to do for this week. I did something previously for Marathon, but it's definitely a company that I keep on going back to, but I keep on getting upset when I look at the chart. So I don't think I'm going to do anything with Marathon this week. Although I did make some pretty good money back here. So I got in right around this value, or this point, right about that $6 point. Unfortunately, I sold right around here, right around $9. So, can't call them all. I would have loved to hold on to that till 14. But c'est la vie, I didn't lose money. That's always good. Always have a plan not to lose money. I think Warren Buffett said, something about that, just don't lose money. If you don't lose money, then you'll always make money. That sounds stupid to say, but man, it's like the hardest thing to do is making sure you don't lose money. And I've heard those stories all the time, people just holding on too long, and they're like, I think it's going to go up a little bit more. I really want to get all of the profit that I can out of it, and they hold on too long, and then it just drops out, and they lose a bunch of money. That's where that trailing stop loss comes into play. Yep. So I think those are the ones that I'll be looking at for at least the short term. Probably, I want to say short term, I'm looking this week. I'll probably set up everything for 2 weeks, but really look at selling them by the end of this week or early next week. Like I said, I'm not a financial expert by any means. I do this simply for training and teaching purposes to help people look, just to give them ideas of what I'm looking at, and see if it helps them get an idea of things that they should be looking at. Definitely do your own research. Do your own research into companies that you like. Yeah, you can go from there. And again, hopefully we can make a bunch of money. So I hope this helps. If you please feel free to post any comments or questions you might have. I did this merely because I had a bunch of people at work say, hey, they're always coming up to me asking me, can you explain how options work? Can you explain how this works? Can you explain how that works? And finally I said, you know what, I'm just going to go online. I'm going to start talking about stuff online. So if it helps, awesome. I'm glad. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. If there's something more you want to hear about, or you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask. I'm new to the whole streaming thing, but I will be streaming on Twitch and every day, 8 o'clock at night, at least every market day at 8 o'clock at night, Japan time. Good chance for you to ask questions then. Really, that's when I'm just going over my plan for the pre-market, if you will, my pre-market planning and the getting ready for the trades that I plan on executing for that day, that week. So, well, best of luck to all of you. I hope you guys do really well and make a whole bunch of money. become millionaires, financially sound, and my plan is to not work in the future. So that's what I'm shooting for. All right, so we're out.